back to the live webinar series here from BINA. This week's topic is Torah's take on celebrating one's birthday. Is it a good thing to do or is not a good thing to do? Does it fit with Torah's approach or it doesn't? One of the beauties of Yiddishkeit is that we have various minhagim, various customs and differences that we all experience. Everybody has their own, what's called derech, their own path through which they serve God. Now, of course, every path and every minhag and every custom has to be sourced and based on authentic sources, not, God forbid, veering from the mainstream Judaism based on the Chumash, on the Talmud, on our sages. However, there are differences, and the differences are mainly when it comes to customs, when it comes to minhagim. One such custom, which is greatly debated, is the custom of celebrating one's birthday, making some sort of celebration, a party. Is that considered in line with Torah's way of life or not? And in fact, the different views are quite extreme, one from another. We have, on the one side, great halachic authorities who maintain that celebrating a birthday is not a good thing and does not fit with a Torah way of life. And on the other hand, we have great halachic authorities and tzaddikim who do hold that celebrating a birthday is actually a very good thing. And like when it comes to all these things, we have a famous rule, nara upashte, that all rivers, everyone should go like flow with their own river, but of course all rivers come from the same source, and it is okay, whatever minhag, whatever custom one follows. I will try, to the best of my ability, to explain both sides of the coin and bring the sources and reasons and various outlooks of both sides. Today, I would like to focus on the negative approach to birthdays, on the opinion that celebrating a birthday is not a Jewish thing. And this is sourced, and the reason for this is a number of things. First of all, the only source in Chumash, in the written Torah, that we have clearly of the idea of celebrating a birthday is Paroi, the king of Mitzrayim. It says, B'yoyim hoiledes es Paroi, the day that Paroi was born, on his birthday, he made a party and he celebrated it. So if that is the only source for celebrating a birthday clearly written in the Chumash, then why would we want to emulate a wicked person like Paroi? The second concept is that a person, a Jew, wasn't just created to be, to exist. We were created for a reason. Like it says, Ani nivreisi l'shamish eskoini, I was created to serve my Creator. Therefore, when a person is born, what are we celebrating? How do you know what type of person this will be? Maybe they will grow up to be wicked. Maybe they won't go in the ways of Torah and mitzvahs and follow God's commandments. In fact, Chazal tell us, our sages tell us, Al tamin ba'atzmecha ad yoim moisach. Do not believe in yourself till the day you die. Meaning, till a person passes away, you can never know what direction you will take. There have been great people that were great for most of their life, but towards the end, they sort of veered away from the path. So why celebrate the day that you're born when all that means is that I came to be and doesn't actually show on any accomplishment? In fact, the Medrash Tanchuma says like this, that the nature of people is that when somebody is born, it's a cause for celebration. But when someone passes away, people cry, people are upset. But the truth is, says the Medrash, it should actually be the other way around. When somebody is born, who knows what they will be? Maybe they'll grow up to be wicked. After a person has lived a fulfilling and good life, and they have passed on, we can now celebrate their life, their accomplishments, their greatness, which they have achieved in their lifetime. On the same lines, in Tractate Eruvin, Daf Yud Gimel Amud Beis, the Gemara, the Talmud says as follows, that we have concluded, Nimnu v'gamru, we have concluded, that it is noyach, it is better, that a person shouldn't have been born than to be born. Because once a person is born, who knows what they will be like? Only after a person has become a tzaddik, a person has become a righteous individual who has followed in the ways of Hashem, of God, then the expression that's used is Ashrav v'ashre hadoyer shul b'soichai. Happy is him and happy is to the generation that merited to have this person in their midst. Parenthetically, based on this view, the Chassam Sofer explains something interesting. We have a concept that tzaddikim are born and pass away on the same day, meaning on the same date, obviously many years afterwards. For example, we find that by Moshe Rabbeinu, his birthday is Zayin Adar, the 7th day of the month of Adar, and his yahrzeit, the day of his passing, is also 120 years later on Zayin Adar. This is to bring out that a righteous person merits to live out their entire life till the very last day. That is what's brought. The Chassam Sofer asks, we find that there are many tzaddikim, many righteous people, that don't pass away on their birthday. Does that mean that they weren't righteous? Does that mean that they're missing something? So he explains that it doesn't necessarily mean the day that they're physically born. Because what concept should be celebrated on the day that a person is born? What it means is on the day that they began to be righteous, on the day that they began to be that tzaddik, to be that righteous individual, on the day that they started to follow in the ways of God. On that day, many years later, they'll pass away to show the completion of their life, that they dedicated a life to serve Hashem. And this all fits with the perspective that we're going on now, that the day that a person is born physically is not necessarily a cause for celebration, it is insignificant. Rather, what is a cause for celebration is a person's accomplishments, what they actually accomplish throughout their life. Now, even according to this perspective, we do find sources of righteous people throughout all the generations who we know about their birthday. That means it's pointed out, it is significant, the day that they were born. For example, we know the birthday of Yitzchak, our forefather, Yitzchak Avinu. The Gemara describes Rabbi Yosef when he turned 60. He made a big seudah, a big meal, and invited the great sages of the time. We find Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai made a special bar mitzvah for his son, again a celebration of his 13th birthday. However, the common denominator between all these people is that they're not regular people. They're all tzaddikim. Yes, tzaddikim in retrospect, when looking at their whole life, righteous people, people which have gone constantly in the ways of God, in the correct path, can yes, look back and say, I can celebrate the day that I was born because that led to such a great life. But a regular person, not necessarily. So much so that there are sources, there are halachic authorities which hold that not only is there no concept, is there no purpose in celebrating one's birthday, it may actually be forbidden. We have a concept called chukos hagoyim, which means that besides for obviously that we have to fulfill the 613 mitzvahs, including all the negative commandments, there are certain things which is not explicitly forbidden in the Torah, but are forbidden because that is the ways of the world, that is the ways the non-Jews go in, and we have to make sure we keep our separate ways and we keep our special identity as Jews. So we are forbidden to go in the chukos hagoyim. Now, what exactly goes under that category is a long and lengthy discussion. We can dedicate a special shiur to that. However, the Arugas Haboisim writes that celebrating a special birthday, for example, 50 years old or whatever it is, a landmark birthday, that does go under the category of chukos hagoyim, of the ways of the non-Jews. I didn't actually see this inside, but I saw this quoted. The Minchas Elazar writes that celebrating any birthday is in fact falls under that prohibition of going in the ways of the goyim, of the non-Jews. The Gemara in Yerushalmi says that Amalek, the wicked nation of Amalek, had the following tactic in war. They would send out a person, all the soldiers would go out on that day, they would pick soldiers that it was their birthday that day. Because they held that on a person's birthday, and we'll see perhaps on Thursday this actually might be a true concept, and it is a true concept, that on a person's birthday, mazole goiver, their luck, so to speak, shines, they have a special power on the day of their birthday. So we see that this was a tactic used by the wicked nation of Amalek. The Mishnah in Tractate Avodah Zarah, the tractate which is dedicated to the idea of idol worship, says that non-Jews would celebrate the birthday of their king. Again, seeing that it's a non-Jewish custom. It brings in the Gemara over there, in the Talmud, in that same tractate, that the birthday of a non-Jew falls under the category of a non-Jewish holiday with all the laws that goes together with that. Now, that's all one side of the coin. On the other hand, there are many sources and many great tzaddikim who encourage greatly to celebrate a birthday. Amongst them, we'll go through this more on Thursday, but just to mention it briefly, the Ben Ish Chai, the Ksav Sofer, the Ginzei Yosef, the Lubavitcher Rebbe, the Baal Shem Tov. There's plenty of sources for the idea of celebrating a Jewish birthday, and we will discuss this further on Thursday. Just to point out that those who do celebrate their birthday, of course, it is not celebrated in a way of just a party, just like everybody else. Rather, it is done in a gathering which brings joy of a mitzvah, of thanks to God for one's life, and brings further resolutions in good deeds, in Yiras Shamayim, in fear of heaven, and to perform more mitzvahs. Once again, everyone has their own minig, and that is fine. Have a great day.